It's the fourth of 13 planets from the star Brigid. It features 2 moons, 5 continents, and an equatorial diameter of 9,752 miles. But it is much more than all that. Welcome to this continuation of my DireLands system-agnostic dark fantasy campaign setting. My name is Adam, and in this episode I will be discussing the planet of Ciar-mhonadh in DireLands. If you appreciate the development of this campaign setting or the features of other games on this channel, I'd like to invite you to consider becoming a patron on Patreon. You can even purchase tabletop role-playing games using my affiliate link in the description below. The planet of Ciar-mhonadh is the center of vibrant life in DireLands. It's the home of all campaign races, and it is terrorized by beings who dwell on the moon of Dotsche, cosmic aberrations which cross the magical land bridge once every quarter century. Its second moon, Dochus, has a consistent orbit, and while it holds fascination and rumor as to its possible inhabitants, it's all conjecture. This all suggests that there is a larger population that has learned how to traverse the stars, but other than their attempted invasion in northern Locaston, the people of Ciar-mhonadh live in stark ignorance to this fact. Life on the planet is difficult. Outside the recent ice age, which has dominated the planet for the past near 1,000 years, there have been 2 extinction-level events which occurred in its primordial past, shaping the DireLands into what they are today. The first event is only shared through pictograms and antediluvian ruins currently under miles of glacier ice in what now is known as northern Locaston. It speaks of a comet impact which brought the first cosmic beings to Ciar-mhonadh. The force of the impact nearly wiped out all life on the planet, going so far as to shift the poles. The second extinction event is shared in the myths of the First Nations people of the continent of Falest. It is woven into their creation myth about life springing from cosmic beings, but the truth is much more insidious, as the beings nearly destroyed all life on Ciar-mhonadh, and those who survived are believed to be the first men. Because there's been no recorded history prior to the Biochte, or men from the west, arriving on the continent of Falest, history has been handed down through spoken word, so the true time span of life on Ciar-mhonadh is in the realm of myth. Knowledge is regional, and the dangers of the past and their shaping of the planet are largely unknown. Of the 5 primary landmasses, only 3 are named, and of them, only Falest is known. The races of Falest have either been born on the continent or traveled there in antiquity, as there's no knowledge outside of the names of the ancient homes of the elves, the continent of Halless, the ancient home of the halflings, the continent of Quill, or the unnamed continent which men came from in the establishment epic. The planet itself has been relatively stable since the last extinction event, allowing life to thrive on Falest, albeit in a primitive manner for thousands of years. The climate, while erratic since the Ice Age in the Nations epic, has created the perfect environment for the peoples of Falest to thrive, from the high tundra region of the Yezes Mountains in the north to the scenic plains and swamps of southwestern Bressus. Even the storm-ridden shores of Kalia's southeastern peninsula are home to native peoples who live among its ancient ruins. The equator runs straight through Bressus from its capital of Trinicius through Kalia's Cahotehe and Udalos tribal lands. The heat has allowed life to thrive and civilization to grow. The air currents rising from the northwest spiral south, hitting central Falest hardest, bringing the heat which scorches the land, creating vast deserts which ebb and flow in eastern Bressus. The currents off of the Prolix Sea provide a welcomed cooling effect for western Bressus, maintaining more normalized weather. However, that current pushes the wind streams east as they hit the colder winds from the western Groinish Ocean. It generates terrible storms that rack eastern Kalia and Locaston. Before the glacial ice spread south over Locaston, the higher elevation was still struck hard by the cool glaciers north of the continent, sending weather south, which offset the brutal heat from the equator, causing large storm fronts with frequent lightning storms and tornadoes throughout southern Locaston. Summers are harsh, and winters are long, with small transition seasons between. In Locaston, with the shift of climate in the past millennia, nights can last for months at a time, with twilight flowing in the same cycle. Kalia is hit hardest in the winters. In some elevations, the snow can reach dozens of feet in depth, and the peaks of the southern Karst mountains are never absent of snow. Even the plains in winter will have a perpetual layer of frost. Bressus has the most advantageous climate year-round, and while they do receive a significant amount of snow in the winter, it melts fairly quickly in the spring, feeding the land with its runoff. The continents were created through plate tectonics, shifting the land around Ciar-mhonadh. This also created massive mountain ranges that run through Fal Est. From west to north, you have the Tintaris, Ruik, Grux, Karst, and Yezi's ranges. Surrounding Fal Est are the great oceans of Ciar-mhonadh. Life is vast in each, with unique dangers, including ancient aberrations, giant varieties of sea life, and whole hatcheries for sea dragons. To the west of Fal Est is the Prolix Sea. Separating Fal Est from Quill is the Croshan Straits. South of Quill, separating it from the southern pole continent, is the Rux Ocean. East of Fal Est and separated by Hollis are the west and east Groinish Oceans. North of Fal Est, now under miles of glacial ice, is the freezing Zulix Sea. The coastal regions were once covered in water, but the Ice Age has lowered the sea levels by a few meters due to water displacement. As you can see, Ciar-mhonadh is a vast planet, with millennia of forgotten history to its current epoch. Signs of its troubled past are all around the people of the world, and if they can decode its secrets, perhaps they can face, and even overcome, the coming conflicts. But as terrifying a prospect as that may be, there are cosmic forces at work, which reside off the planet itself, who gaze greedily at the rich life on Ciar-mhonadh, and it's only a matter of time before that gaze turns to action. Thank you for watching today's DireLands Fantasy Campaign Setting episode. Please consider subscribing to this YouTube channel, liking and commenting on this video, and if you enjoyed this episode, consider becoming a patron on Patreon. Always remember that evil spelled backwards is live, so get out there and be evil.